The World Army is back, not because of a new song, not the latest drama, but because one small tattoo so far only glimpsed by the public eye suddenly became the center of attention because of its unusually deep, heart-rending, and full of emotion meaning. An ink that not only adheres to the skin, but also grips the deepest emotions of its fans. For some, it's just a symbol. But for Jungkook, it was a wound. It was love. It was a secret that had been tightly locked, kept between the fame and silence of an idol who always smiled on stage, but secretly kept thousands of stories behind every ink stroke on his body. And now, the world knows, or at least is beginning to suspect, that tattoos are more than just aesthetics. Not style, not a train, but it is a confession, a form of wound that is perpetuated. And this fact has just been revealed. The world of K-pop will never be the same again. What made everything even more jarring was the fact that the tattoo was located in a very specific place, near his heart. A location that is no joke, which is only chosen if the meaning of the ink is really rooted in something deep, emotional, and very personal. Words in a foreign language, in letters that can only be understood by those who really pay attention to them. And now, fans have linked it to one incident of Jungkook's past that to this day remains shrouded in mystery. The moment when he disappeared for several days from the public in 2019, with no apparent explanation. N01 was ready when the world started paying attention to that one tattoo. Not the one at hand, not the stylish letters on his arm, neither the crown, nor the microphone, nor the names of the BTS members he is proud of so far, but one small symbol, which had been hidden in the movement of his body, in the shadow of the spotlight of the stage lights, among the stage clothes that meticulously covered part of his chest, a tattoo that was so close to his heart. And when it was finally seen, it wasn't just the army that fell silent. The world stopped for a moment, because there, it was written in fine calligraphic script, something not even everyone could understand. That it was a beautifully curved Latin letter, forming two words, rather be. Two simple words, but what do they mean? For the public, maybe it's just a personal philosophy. But for those familiar with Jungkook's history, those two words are knives. A knife that cuts through memories of the past that are never discussed openly. A wound that is hidden behind a smile that is always bright. A cry that only comes out when the world is no longer staring. There's something hiding behind the ink. And when one piece after another of the story began to float on social media, it all made more sense. But also much more painful. Ink is not just art. It is living proof of a sense of loss. Let's go back to 2019, the year that was supposed to be BTS's heyday, the year when Jungkook appeared on every screen with his sweet smile, sweet voice that never wavered, an incomparable golden aura. Behind all this, however, there was a period of silence, which Big Hit at that time simply referred to as a short period of rest. But the army knows it's not an ordinary break. Jungkook, the Golden Magne, disappeared for almost 2 weeks with no trace, no live, no uploads, not even the usual fan service. Speculation spread. Some say he went abroad. Some say he's sick. There is also a mention of internal quarrels. But there is not a single official statement. And now, many years later, with the appearance of the tattoo rather be near his heart, everything seems to be pulled back. Better where? Asked the fans. Did he want to be somewhere else then? With someone? Or just walk away from it all? The tattoo became a door, which opened up the possibility that that year, 2019, was the toughest year of his life, and that he didn't really want to be in the same world as we were then. A terrible possibility that the army didn't want to believe, but it didn't. Sources within the fandom community began to dig deeper. And the news that emerged was even more surprising. A former trainee, who is now no longer active in the entertainment industry, anonymously uploaded a confession that made hair stand on end. He said he had been close to Jungkook during their training and early debut, before they split up due to pressure from the agency, the media, and the no-dating policy. The Rather Be tattoo, according to the source, is Jungkook's final form of tribute to someone who once meant so much to him, someone he couldn't stand because of time, circumstances, and fame. He said, "I'm better off in a place where I can be myself. With you." So said an anonymous source in the viral upload. Is it true? No confirmation. But when the post went viral, fans were quick to match moments from Jungkook's vlog, his diary entries, to the emotional lyrics of his solo song. And a red thread is formed. There is someone missing. And the tattoo is a sign of his loss. The reaction of the fans was inevitable. Thousands of posts with the hashtags #RatherBeJK and #JungkookTattoo meaning immediately occupied the world's trending. Many wrote at length on social media, sharing their interpretations of the tattoo, comparing with their personal experiences of love, loss, and even depression. If you've ever had someone you love but couldn't have, you'll understand what a Jungkook tattoo means, one Twitter user wrote. Rather be. It's like an apology. Or maybe the last wish, wrote another with a crying emoticon. The most painful thing is when a large fan base posts a thread with the possibility that the tattoo is not just about love, but also about wanting to get away from this world. The words rather be are interpreted as part of a complete sentence, such as, I'd rather be gone, or I'd rather be where you are. Sentences that hint at mental vulnerability, mental distress, and perhaps despair. What makes all this even more mysterious is the silence from HYB. There is no clarification, no response. It was as if they chose silence to cover something much deeper than just ink on the skin of an idol. But Jungkook himself? Quietly, he began to signal. In a short interview, when asked about his tattoo, he smiled slightly and said, "Some things are better left without words." And that sentence? It just makes everything deeper, darker, more painful. Since the tattoo was clearly read by the camera at one of BTS's practice sessions that was captured unfiltered in leaked internal documentation on the international fanbase, fans have begun to realize something surprising. Every single Jungkook solo song after 2019 turns out to carry an emotional common thread that leads to the theme, rather be. This is not just an ordinary heartbreak lyric. It's like a silent lament. Silence screams. A prayer whispered in silence, behind a gentle melody. I in the song, Still With You. Jungkook sings in a soft voice that seems to touch the spine of anyone who hears it. ARMY used to think it was about fans. But after the appearance of this mysterious tattoo, the interpretation began to change. Is the song really the last message to someone he can't have? Or even more painful, for someone who is already gone? And when he wrote, Mayu, a birthday song for fans whose words were filled with hope and love, there was a bittersweet note behind it. The word left behind hangs like a gray cloud. And when fans combine all of this with the meaning of the Rather Be tattoo, a new narrative emerges. The tattoo is a memory. The tattoo is a reminder of someone who has left, either because of time, circumstances, or death.